Hello and welcome to the Mega Byte podcast for today, July 16th, 2020. I'm your host, Brian Gavados, and this week it's all about Discovery Expo. We're going to talk to some people from the field to give the realistic perspective on how these virtual training events have been going, how they've been resonating with you guys in the stores, and what we can do to make season 2 even better. In fact, you're going to hear some information about season 2 that you might find pretty exciting, so be sure to listen to the end. The bare essentials of what you got to know about Discovery Expo Season 2, well, it kicks off July 20th, okay? So July 20th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time is when Discovery Expo Season 2 kicks off. You'll be getting communications about that, but if you haven't heard, feel free to shoot an email to the show and we'll be sure to connect you with all the information to make sure that you know where to be and when, okay? So without further ado, let's talk to my friends Chase and George from the field teams to get their perspective on Discovery Expo. All right, so everyone out there who listens to this podcast, we've heard your feedback and you're sick of hearing from me. We know what you want. You want the raw, gritty reality from the field. And there's nobody more raw or grittier than the two people we have as guests today. We have George Martinez and Chase Wood on the Mega Byte podcast. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for joining us today. We want to hear your real world perspective on a couple things today. So, George, if you wouldn't mind starting us off, where are you from and what's your role?
Sure. Thank you, Brian, for having me on. My role is I'm a market manager. I'm in Team SC, SoCal. I cover the Anaheim territory, which is Orange County, California. And I cover Walmart's, Costco's, superstores.
Okay, so when you visit those stores, what's like your hit list and your to-do list as you walk into those stores and look around?
So first, I go in, talk to the managers, the retail pros, make sure they're doing okay, just follow up on anything that they may need. I go in and check our displays out, make sure everything's stocked up, the demos are working, everything's properly looking up to par.
So you are that last level of making sure that things are up to Microsoft standards, knowledge-wise, merchandising-wise, everything else. That lands on your shoulders.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then Chase Wood. Who the heck are you?
Oh, yeah. I'm here. I'm out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and I am actually part of the WSET team, and we work very similar to George and his team. We work closely with the Best Buy team. I go into stores, work alongside our retail pros, do some training and some assisted selling. So same thing, kind of in and out of stores, and get to see everything going on inside of Best Buy.
Both of you guys work in stores. The bulk of your role is in stores, which means your roles have been uniquely affected during these last few months. The whole retail landscape being so vastly different than it has been in really our lifetimes or almost any other before. So we want to hear your perspectives on that. And specifically, I want to talk to you about the Discovery Expo training season that we just wrapped up. And we're going to be starting season 2 here on July 20th. So we used to be able to train in person a bunch of retail pros and folks like yourselves who are out there training others. But now, consequently, we can't do that. So we've had to adapt as best we can and get product knowledge, demo excellence, all those things that you both are so integral for getting into the stores and making sure those things happen. Well, we need to do that now in a more virtual sense. So that's why Discovery Expo is happening. So I'd like to hear from you guys. What went through your mind when you first heard about Discovery Expo? And how was season 1? How did it go from your perspective?
I feel season 1 went really great and a lot of excitement building up to it, a lot of great content. I think that is the key with Discovery Expo, the content behind it, the learning experience behind it, and of course, the prizes that the retail pros could get. But I felt it was a great step up. It was just a great experience, just to experience it myself, and having the opportunity to give the retail pros the same experience was great.
How did you pitch Discovery Expo to others? Like, how do you explain what it is? And how would you explain it if someone today asked you, oh, I got this email from work saying I got to go do this freaking training called Discovery Expo. Ugh. What do you say to that person?
So I tell them, this is a great learning experience. This helps you become a better sales associate to learn the product, to be passionate about the product, to really dig into the tools behind how Microsoft 365 works, Xbox. So more of as an educational tool, getting them excited, getting them ready to go in and sell with excitement, and not be kind of like a typical training site where, okay, I'm clicking this and clicking that. Right. So I made it a fun experience for them.
Chase, how is it on way over there on the East Coast? How's it been going? How did you experience season one, and how did you, well, for lack of a better word, how did you sell it to any retail pros?
Yeah. Season one was awesome. My favorite part, and a lot of my associates and retail pros' favorite parts, was definitely the live events. The show you guys put on with stuff like Surface in Space and the Microsoft 365 report were really awesome new ways. Like you're mentioning, everybody doing virtual learning now. That was a really great way to, get people's attention and make it fun. Getting the retail pros buy-in, a big thing is definitely getting people excited, showing the latest and greatest, and discovering new things with Microsoft. Discovery Expo is a great tool for associates to use to resharpen their skills and boost their knowledge around Microsoft products to help them get back into the groove since they're going back into stores.
A lot of people listening, guys, may not have been in a retail store in a long time, and so they may not know what some of the realities are of retail right now. What can you tell us about the new frustrations that retail pros are encountering, and not just retail pros, but their soups and their managers and everything, and you guys? Can you sort of put it into realistic terms for us about what the reality is now of coaching, training, and selling at retail from your perspective?
The reality is, I think, and I definitely know, they miss us being in there. They miss us supporting them, giving them the information. They feel like they're lost because they don't see us. They don't get that interaction with us. When they see us, they say, "Hey, George. Hey, Chase. Glad to see you again." That I think that face-to-face interaction is missing. And with Discovery Expo, I think it's great because it's live, it's interactive, and we offer something that honestly I believe that other companies don't. We're still giving them that, in a sense, that face-to-face, but from a distance. So I think that's what they're missing. But when we reach out to them with something like this, they appreciate it.
Yeah. Leadership in the store, they have a lot of stuff on their mind with keeping up with, the millions of other things happening in the stores, and us being able to go in and be the extra support and be our partner's best partner by doing virtual trainings and showing them how they can win prizes and have fun learning new things as they're getting back into stores is, they look at us and say, "Man, that's super awesome, and we appreciate you guys being in stores." So.
Have there been any new strategies or tactics that you've had to adapt to in order to stay connected to retail pros or stay connected to your stores during this unique time?
I think that with still keeping in touch via email or even phone calls has been the one thing that's worked. But like a new strategy, doing the online trainings. I know we've done trainings through Teams where a lot of companies now are using that more than other avenues. And I think that was something new and a great new avenue to do. And it works. It really works.
Yes, I think now more than ever, companies are realizing that they have to really invest in what makes a virtual engagement good. I'm not trying to say that Discovery Expo is better than it is, because I think I'm so proud of the work we put into it and everything. And I think we are going a great distance in showcasing how to do a virtual event, but it's a big undertaking. There's a lot of stuff to consider, as I'm sure on the receiving end of it, is what's the balance between fun but worth your time? What's the balance between spec and tech heavy versus soft skills? What's the balance between how many times we're asking people to log in and try out things and play games? And it's a minefield. It's really difficult to navigate. And do you have any feedback on how that went with season one in terms of the balance of, I know, George, you specifically said that you really lead with how that this is going to be fun, but what's the feedback from retail pros you heard about that balance of fun versus informational?
It's been 50-50. I really believe showing them and explaining it to them properly, and they go back and they do the courses and see, hey, it's fun. You win something from it too. I've got a lot of my guys, especially from Micro Center, they've been emailing me and texting me saying, "Hey, I completed it all. What's next?" I like the aspect of it that it's interactive, especially the live events, like Chase was saying. It brings them more into a real world kind of scenario where it's not just you're looking at a screen, answering A, B, C. You guys make it really fun.
Yeah, when I'm explaining it and kind of giving my 30-second spiel about Discovery Expo to some of the retail pros, I always say it's more than just e-learnings. There's live events, there's teamification, there's games, there's prizes. There's tons of other stuff going on, and that's kind of the feedback that I hear from them is they really enjoy, instead of just logging on and doing e-learnings and sitting in front of a computer. They enjoy the 5 or 6 different aspects of Discovery Expo, and they can log on and play games during the lunch break, and then during the evening they can log on and do the latest learning or watch the latest live events.
So there's a lot of shifting priorities in store now with this unique time that we're working in right now and living through. So with all those shifting priorities and new priorities out of sometimes coming out of nowhere, how do you specifically get a retail pro to buy into something like this? And I think it's important to keep in mind, you're going to be speaking to a lot of them right now on this podcast. So they're listening. How do you get them excited and bought in for Discovery Expo Season 2?
Well, I have one word to say about that, and it's relationships. Without the relationship, you're not going to be able to have the retail pros to buy in. The reason I've had so much success with Discovery Expo, it was my relationship with my Micro Centers and Costco's and GameStops to have them have this opportunity. If you don't have that relationship with them, they're not going to be able to buy into it. We're doing this virtually, doing through emails, calls, because we're not able to go into the stores because of the social distancing. And I reached out to management and they were excited to hear from me. And I said, hey, there's this great opportunity for you to learn and also win stuff. And they went back and said, look, George has this great information, and they bought into it, and they bought into it hard. And like I told you before, they were texting me and calling me and saying, I finished it. I got this course, or I won this. So it is all about the relationship, bottom line.
Okay, so we know that a lot of the drive for Season 1 of Discovery Expo was, well, let's be honest, the incentives. I mean, we had to make it worth the while for people to log on and go through the training. So we had prizes. And I want to let you guys in on something. I want to get your reaction to it. It's Season 2. We are changing things up a little bit. We've made some modifications and some enhancements, and we're actually now going to be giving away solo grand prizes weekly. So if you're working your way into the top 5 each week, like I hear, George, like from some of the people who keep texting you about what they can do and how they can get on top. If you work your way up to the top 5 each week, from Monday at midnight to Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you are eligible for one of 5 grand prizes per week. I'm talking prizes like Surface Pro 7 bundles, Surface Laptop 3, Xbox, Surface headphones, and Surface earbuds. I think we're taking this prize structure to really another level. I mean, do you think that's going to help engagement, that kind of change?
Definitely. They love hearing the prizes aspect of it, and also the learning is a main important part of it. But when you let them know, look, there's great prizes, you're going to have, if you do this, you're going to win some very cool prizes. And they get excited. They love it. They're like, wow, this is finally something cool that I can learn and win something too.
And we need them to know like the numbers. I know it's like, oh, okay, what are the odds that I'm going to win something? But we have, like, for example, I'm just looking at my list here for Season 2. We're giving away 75 gift cards per week. So like, it's just tune in and participate there. You should win something if you are participating. And I think that's cool because not every training can say that. But luckily, and I do mean luckily, like Microsoft is backing this thing really strong because the relationship, as you say, the relationship, whether it's Microsoft and Best Buy or Microsoft and a bunch of partners like Costco and Walmart and Micro Center, like those partnerships are integral. So we're really putting our best foot forward here with season 2. And I, for one, hope that everyone out there is excited to participate on July 20th. And hey, guys, thanks so much for being here on the podcast. Any final words to the field team as they're listening, and from your perspective about getting involved in these trainings?
Just keep up the good work and just drive that excitement. The reward is going to be great in the end.
Yep, I'm so excited for season 2. I have the biggest grin on my face right now since you've been talking about prizes, because that's my favorite thing to get people excited for in the stores. So I am so ready. Let's go.
Well said.
Yeah, well said. Let's just take it from there. All right. Thanks so much, guys. You guys have been top performers. You've been recognized as top performers. That's why I got connected with you to be on the show. They said you got to have these 2 in particular. So I really appreciate you giving me your time here, and I hope to have you back to talk about how season 2 went after it's all said and done.
Yes.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
This has been the Microsoft Mega Byte podcast, a training tool for Microsoft field team members and sales professionals across the country, produced by Microsoft employees.